Okay, so very slow animal practice lesson. I bought a bunch of books on painting animals. I didn't really find very much I liked, but this one book has this one thing that she does. And I thought it was really fun to isolate the animal eye before you actually paint the animal. So she's got to paint a fox, paint a cat, paint a blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't like super thrilled about how she painted the whole thing, but I loved this idea of um, of painting an animal eye, right? Just to practice that because animal eyes are so huge and expressive. It's gonna gets us started using something called frisket or masking fluid. Um, Gets us kind of focused on the shape of the eye. And so, and we can't use any of her colors or anything because they're all totally weird. Stuff I've never heard of, like shadow violet and lemon yellow and green gold. It's really weird. Here we go. Sodalite genuine. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. I've never in my life heard of those things. So I would say let's go ahead and just get a piece of paper. We're just going to stumble along. And if you don't have masking fluid, you're just going to try to maintain, like, keep the eye, the part of these little dots in the eye white, right? It'll be a little bit harder, but you're gonna, here, this is masking fluid. I was advised, I've never used this stuff really. For paper. Yeah. Let's play around with it and see what we can do. It's fun. It kind of like blocks off areas so you don't get any paint on them. I have very specifically not had you use it because I want you to kind of practice just getting your what do you call it? You're just kind of getting your mark making in place. Oh, and I need to go get some water. Hold on, I'll be right back. And a pencil. So go ahead, all of you get a pencil, water. Okay. You also might be able to play around with gouache in some ways to get this. So the very first thing, and you guys have this on the WhatsApp thread, so if you can't, I want to make sure you can really see this. We're going to start by drawing this shape. Notice that the eye, this cat eye, and it's much wider across. It's way more curved across the bottom than it is across the top. That is true of like most animal eyes. Also notice that you can make this as big as you want. Also notice that we don't have the entire eye. The lid is usually blocking. It's not like you've got a perfectly round circle. The lid is usually blocking a little bit the top and the bottom. Maybe we can see the bottom of the eye here. These two curved lines. For those of you who are trying to mark this out, you're going to want to put a mark like this and like there and try not to paint it. right. So that's your basic animal eye. When you think you have it, sorry, I'm reshaping mine a little bit. Think you have it. And I'm going to add a couple things to this because there's some things I know about this. Oh, it's too big. That's the problem. I'm really paying attention not only to the iris, but to the sides of each iris to see how long my cat eye should be. When you think you've got it, go ahead and send it over. And if you have masking fluid, you can take a dry brush, kind of dip it right in there, and cover up the little blicks. Now I see why they hurt. So frisket can sometimes, frisket is another word for masking fluid. I've never really heard it until I kind of went to the art store and saw it. And so I decided I was going to be very unadventurous and do what I knew. You have to let this dry before you. So if you've got it, you can go ahead and brush it on. No water. Let that dry. And I'm playing around with some colors just to see what I can get. Loading up my tray if I need more of certain colors. I need a bit more ultramarine. When you think you've got this eye drawn, send it over to me. I'll take a look. If you're having trouble drawing, send it over. Let's see. I would make this a titch bigger, Paula.
The part, this little part on the end, the little
Yeah,
tail.
yeah, yeah.
Wider or long?
Like wider.
Wider, okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit, looks a little bit small. It's funny when we don't think about, and also pay attention to the side. Yeah, it's in general, that looks pretty good. When we don't pay attention to like, when it's an area that we're not paying close attention to, we often make it smaller than it needs to be. And let's see. Christina, I want you to pay attention to more to shape here. There's problems. You've got this tiny and a huge space. Then this goes all the way down here. I'm going to show you what yours looks like. It's like that. Do you see that? And then this down here like that. That's not what's happening. Pay attention to shape. These are basics. This is bigger. There's a teeny space between here and here, right? Just a little tiny space. So readjust this right side. It's interesting. It's interesting to see like kind of what mistake and as well, let's see. No, I'm not going to get fussy about that. But I am going to play around with some
Mhm.
mixes. I'm kind of trying to mix for that gray, which looks reddish to me. Yeah, that's probably right. Polly, you might notice that your stuff is, oh, sorry, here, hold on. Jonathan, that looks pretty good. I would make your pupil, make your iris come down, take up a little bit more space on this side. Bring it down just a touch more. It's a little bit wider, but other
What
than
is an
that,
iris? I'm sorry.
sorry, the iris, this is the iris, the pupil. Sorry, this is the pupil. The pupil is the dark part. The iris
Uh-huh.
is what's around it.
Okay.
So you need to make your, sorry, your pupil, I used the wrong word, your pupil a little bit wider and come down a little bit farther. I'll
Okay.
do the same thing with mine. How's that? Polly, you might find with your masking fluid that it's kind of sticky. You want to let it, it's takes a few minutes to dry.
Okay.
Um, I'm finding I'm mixing, there's a kind of gray that we're putting in here where the white of the eye is. And I'm playing with the different, it looks kind of reddish to me. So I'm mixing red and green. I think that's pretty close. Testing it. And you'll see the red and green, this kind of grayish. So what you want is a gray color, not anything that's super red, not anything that's super green, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say quinacridone red and viridian green is your gray mix. So we're gonna put that, we're gonna mix that, and we're gonna go dry. We're gonna go wet on dry because I don't really know what's gonna happen here. Um, don't do this before you've tested your mix on a paper like I did down here. So this is Viridian green and quinacridone red to make this color. Before you paint it, make sure you got that gray right. Oh, let me see. Yeah.
I thought I had a quinacridone, but I can't find it.
You have alizarin crimson, might work.
Crimson?
Alizarin crimson.
No.
You're gonna need to use a cool red then. You need to find a cool red.
Uh, I don't think I have that type of green. Meridian.
Well, why don't you try some mixes with the types of green and red you have and show me what they look like. And what I want to see is something that looks gray. I don't want to see something that looks too green or too red. Okay,
I have alizarin crimson.
you can use that one and try your greens.
I have hooker's green, permanent green, and phthalo yellow green.
Definitely not phthalo yellow green. Look at this color green and get the closest you can to that. It's viridian green, but get the closest you get. We've had this conversation before.
I know. I have viridian green somewhere.
It's somewhere. We don't know where it is. So you're just going to have to, but that's okay. You're just going to muck around with your colors until you can make something, right? That looks right. We'll be moving to black soon enough to cover up most of these areas, so don't worry too much about that. And I'm just guessing here what these colors are. You guys might be in way better position than I on the next step. I'm looking at my yellows. I'm kind of testing my yellows, my yellowy greens. That's lemon yellow with a little bit of green in it because it was from our last assignment. This is right. So I'm just doing what we always do. That's cadmium yellow. Doesn't seem like the right yellow. Yet you never know. Green gold or might be exactly what you need for this next part of the assignment. Christina, you might be in better shape than the rest of us. Let's see. I'm mixing green and yellow and a touch of red. Gosh, it just changes. Yeah, I think that's about right. Yep. Let me see what happens when I lay one on top of the other. Maybe the closest we get. So you see how I'm kind of trying to test out for the color of the eye? There's this lighter color, it's kind of a yellow color. And then there's this green color, which I'm lightening with yellow and adding a little red to, just a tiny bit. Because we all know that this green, that our greens, right? That green is not the color of the eye. So the question is kind of how to get there. And the way to get there seems to be mixing green with yellow and then a little bit of red to make it shadowy. So I'm just playing around to see what I can get. The trick is going to be when you lay down, as you can see, there's dark. I wonder what she says about that. I'm just so curious. I don't think she says anything because this is kind of a terrible book. It is so bad. So she says, it's really her instruction is terrible. So I'm gonna do what I thought I would like to do, which is like I'm using lemon yellow. And my yellow is right now rather, I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Yeah, most art books are absolutely terrible. It's really funny how bad they are. I mean, I guess I shouldn't throw stones, but I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. Dang it, down here. Here we go. Let's do this. This is my cool yellow. It's got a little green in it. I'm gonna go just a little higher so you can see. There we go. This is my cool yellow. It's a kind of a lemon yellow or a pale yellow. It's got a little green in it. That's actually okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with this color, watered down just a little bit. And notice I'm really testing before I get anything on here. And so I'm getting all the way around. With this kind of, and the only reason this pale yellow is kind of green is because the last time I used it, I got a little green in it and I never took it out. So you could just, dip a little green in there. See how it's kind of yellowish green? And then she says, well, let's just go there. Let's just do that. So you applied, Christina. You got in, you actually applied. You're in. You're in the mix.
I'm in the mix. Yes, I applied
That's so exciting.
for a program. We'll see. I'll know maybe in about a month and a half. So
But it seems like it's something you're really wanting to do. You're like getting more excited about it.
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what the fall holds. But the
Right.
but the beauty of this program is that it's online and I could do it part-time. If
That's great.
yeah. So it gives me flexibility to do other things too. And at least start, because it's like it'll
Right.
the part-time program takes 5 years.
Right.
So-
Is it expensive?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. But I'm in the mix. I'm keeping my options open. We'll see what happens.
Excellent. Good for you. How's it going over there, guys?
I joined you, but I'm working. I'm just hanging
Okay.
out.
Hang in there, Diana. How's it
Yeah,
going?
it's good. I'm just writing a release right now because I finally booked the final honoree.
Who is that?
Her name is Kim Fields.
Wait, was she like a child actress?
Yeah, she
Uh,
was.
Facts,
She was
facts of life.
Tootie.
Yeah,
Tootie.
yeah, facts of life.
You booked
But
you booked Tootie.
she's also a big activist and do good there. She's used her platform for a gazillion causes, and
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
she
No,
gets
no, no. She would just always be
Tootie.
Tootie. No matter what she does in her life.
yeah.
Now, for those of you who don't have the masking fluid, remember, we can just paint over, but you're going to have to kind of work around these little white spots. If you lose them, we can probably re-add them in with gouache or white watercolor paint, but you want to try and preserve them.
Jonathan, did you see that your guy is a finalist for the A-Mark prize as well?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. When was that announced?
I don't think we announced it. We just added it to the finalists.
Oh, wow. I
But
wonder if
we
he
should
knows.
probably announce it.
I have to tell him.
What's that? Which one is that, Diana?
That's a cash award. It's a total of 15,000.
Ooh, that's nice.
I wonder if I get it.
You'd better. You're the one holding down the fort.
I know.
Well,
Jesus.
if he wins something, there will be some money to Jewish Journal as well.
Yeah, but not to me.
Ah, ah.
Well, now is the time to strategize. Christina, did I see that you also are a finalist? Did I see that?
I
Or was
am
it somebody else?
I am a
No.
finalist for a piece, yes.
For which
Yeah.
one?
Uh the the new date singles ad is the new dating ad is a flyer on
A flyer.
a flyer on a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really? Or is that a
Yeah.
joke?
So okay, so actually this is a very funny story. So in San Francisco, I I started seeing people advertising their friends as like eligible bachelors on flyers on telephone poles, and I tracked down the people who were doing this, and then uh, over the course of the story, actually, I uncovered one of the groups that was doing this for their friends. And as part of a practical joke, then they made a flyer for me that they posted around my office, like the neighborhood around my office and on the office door.
Does it work?
Um, I did actually, a few people emailed me asking me out on a date, and I responded. I said, yeah, sure, let's like go out for coffee. One guy was like, oh, but you have to promise me you're not going to write about this. Yeah, but then
Why is that? Is that because people are sick of being online, basically, and all the creepiness?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
sick of being online. And then one guy,
Fascinating.
yes, and then one guy got so many responses, like he got hundreds of responses to his flyer that him and his friend decided to throw a big picnic party in the park where all the singles could meet each other. So then there was like a big singles party in Fort Mason to meet the
That's
eligible.
adorable.
Yeah, so I went and I went with a photographer and we took pictures and everything, and the pictures turned out great. It was a fun time. So yeah, so
Oh my God, it's lo-fi. I love it. It's like vinyl for dating.
it is. Yeah, it was a super fun story.
Oh my God, you better win. That's a great idea for a story.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
That's a great idea for a story.
Yeah.
Um, hey, how are we at, guys? Where are we?
I'm starting with the green.
Okay,
Okay.
kind of the yellow green.
Yeah.
I use lemon yellow with just a tiny, tiny little bit of viridian in it. Christina has green gold, so maybe that will work for her. Jonathan, I don't know what kind of greens you've got.
I
So,
used what you did. I used Viridian and lemon yellow, and it worked out
and
perfect.
did it work out all right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, now that it's kind of dry-ish, I'm grabbing a little bit of viridian. Oh, that was a lot of viridian. Um, a bit of yellow. And I'm going to take a touch of cadmium red, or just a warm red, and I'm mixing it in to kind of darken it a little bit. That was too much red. I went too crazy on the red. Well, did I? Let's see. Uh, actually, that's not too bad. So this is green, yellow, and red. And then the trick here is you're going to drop it in a couple places, but you want to leave the bottom edge kind of yellow, and you want to leave an edge around the pupil here, also yellow. So see how I'm kind of using and I'm pushing with my brush a little bit.
So what were your colors there?
Viridian,
Viridian,
lemon yellow,
lemon yellow,
and
and
a warm red.
okay,
And a more warm red than I thought,
okay.
right? Because you want it to be darker. And maybe I'm going to take a little bit of paper towel and see if I can pull off just a teeny touch. Or is it too late? Might be too late. Oh yeah, no, there we go. I'm pulling off just a little bit of the yellow. I kind of lost my yellow edge. Yeah, I think this is I think this is our speed today. I don't want to like finish that bloody raccoon. Not today. Next week. Next week.
That bloody
Now we're just going to be practicing animal eyes. The very dark, I think we're going to use the normal, which is ultramarine blue and burnt umber to make a black. See, I'm kind of mixing a black from ultramarine blue and burnt umber, right? And then, of course, that's going to come here. Be careful. You won't want to paint it. You won't want to do what I just did because I actually think, well, maybe you will. You want to be careful not to run into wet paint in your green eye iris. And it's basically kind of around the edge here, very dark. It's funny, the resist does funny things. I'm super curious about how it'll look. Oh, wait, I went too far. I shouldn't have covered up the little tear duct, so I'm going to take that off the tear duct. So I'm darkening. That dark. And I may even do it again. Huh. It's looking strangely compelling. And then there's this little pink undertone, which I think will be a cool red. Oh, I know what that usually is. It's usually alizarin crimson, burnt umber, and white. Is that still true in watercolor? Yeah. Let's see. Cool red. There's this kind of, it looks too orangey. Let's try alizarin crimson and burnt umber. Sorry, I'm testing out stuff and then I'll tell you what I think works the best. Sienna, that's, hold on. Maybe add a burnt umber. Tons of burnt sienna, I have a lot of burnt sienna. Ah, here. Okay. Interesting. Burnt orange. I inherited a bunch of watercolor from a woman who died. I think I told you that. I have a friend who's like, I have more people who are dying give me their art supplies than I have just stacks and stacks of them. This very interesting, amazing artist who I met the week she died, who was pretty with it. gave me all these watercolor colors, and I've never really, she's a really interesting movie. I have all these crazy colors I've never before. And don't ask me, I have no idea why I'm constantly being given art supplies. I'm inheriting art supplies, but I'm not arguing about it. I feel like I just bought bird umbrella. No. Interesting. I'm out. Interesting. Okay. Uh, let's see. The way I'm used to making that kind of pink skin color that's up here, that's kind of underneath, it's a very pinky color, is to mix burnt umber and alizarin crimson together. I seem to have run out of burnt umber. I think I've only got, here we go, there's a little bit. And then I would think to water it down, but when I lay it on here, it's a little bit warmer. So maybe a little bit of red in there, cadmium red in there. I don't know. Oh, let's try. So I'm struggling a little bit to mix this color. I'm pulling out all the stops. Hmm. Well, I guess it's kind of a cool color. Try red and green. No. The closest I can get to this color is mixing red and green underneath here. It's like alizarin crimson and a little bit of viridian green. I know not everybody has those colors, but that's the closest I could get to kind of getting this cool color. Um, so just play around with your reds and greens to get this kind of cool color here. I'm also as things starting to start to dry out, kind of I'm adding another layer of dark here. I'm going to use a more pointy brush. want to kind of emphasize the brightness of the yellow over here. So I'm actually going right in with kind of this light yellow green over here again. We'll see if that works. Maybe. I don't really know. Yeah. Is anybody finding this kind of strangely fun?
Yeah. I love
Weird.
it.
It's nice not to have to concentrate on everything, just to concentrate on the one thing. Let me see. I'm gonna go get another eye we can do after this. Oh, yes, sheep eye. Weird looking.
So Diane,
Have
I
you
just
ever
told I just told my writer, and he was very excited
Oh, good.
about eyes? Oh, about being
about his.
Did you tell him he owes you money? He owes you some of it?
Uh-huh.
How much,
That's a
how big a percentage are you taking?
You know, can you just take it out like pre-giving? Like
Here's
just
fee.
yeah, tell him that it's just like part of the IRS or something.
And then flip it over to Jonathan. My God, you guys want to see the weirdest eyes ever are goat and sheep eyes. They have these crazy rectangular pupils. It is
Oh,
so weird. So weird. We'll try that one next if we get through this one. I'm kind of darkening. I'm adding in more darks to the iris, to the pupil and the outside edge of the eye. Bringing a little dark edge underneath the iris, which is this big green thing. So I'm kind of slowly darkening. I'm just adding extra layers of dark. And then it looks like it's just like burnt sienna or something like that over the kind of over the top of the eye. Like she likes to use this mixed media technique, which I think is annoying. So it's like colored pencil and all kinds of weird other stuff, which I don't really, it isn't my thing. Although it does add nice texture, but so you see how I'm just adding, well, this is just burnt sienna. Kind of around the outside edge of everything. Oops. I think I'm missing a light area here. Hold on. Get it back out. Yes, there seems to be a light area here. That's not very clear. I missed it. It's here. So you bring your you can play around with making your brush, try to make marks if you want to, just for the fun of it, like hair. I'm just kind of getting paint on the tip of my brush and tapping it on if you want to. That's for fun. And when the thing is dry, those of you who have used the masking fluid will scrub it off. See what happens. Encourage everybody else to get masking fluid, unless it's a bust. Diana, how goes your fruit making generally?
I did a few more.
I saw you did one of a apple with a bite in it.
Yeah, and then I haven't finished that one, and I started that.
Let me see. Hold on. Hold this up. These are so inspiring.
It's just a sketch now.
Look at that. Isn't
Oh, I
that great, you
love it.
guys?
Yeah, I love
Just
it like
as
that.
bad as already.
And that is the predecessor to that one.
Oh, that's so cool.
So fun.
Love it. Diana has a big show. I don't know if you guys know this.
Not
I
a
mean,
show, it's an art fair.
an art fair. That's a show.
Okay.
That's a show. She's in a big show, an art fair, like a week before her big show, the gala.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Because she won first place in an art show a few months ago, and they gave her a spot in this big art fair.
Nice.
yeah. We see how that goes.
So she's painting all these really adorable little delicious fruits.
I am doing small painting, so I have a chance of selling something.
I think they're going to be popular.
Let's hope.
I think they're wonderful.
Thank you. It's fun though to work this small because you finish a painting in a sitting or two.
Right.
Yeah.
You learn about simplifying.
Yeah. And I think I have 30 now, 30 small paintings.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 80 times 30 if you sold them all.
Yeah.
That's couple $1,000, $2,500.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I already sold one though.
Nice too.
To a friend who is giving it to her sister-in-law because she had shown the pictures. I took a picture of all those small ones, and
Right.
her sister-in-law wanted to buy it, so she's buying it for her.
Nice. That's a good portent.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see something kind of fun, I am scritching off my
Oh,
brisket, my masking fluid, and look what that does.
that's nice.
Yeah. So when you get everything to the layers and levels that it does, that you get to, then scraping off, that should encourage you to get some, because it is fun and easier than trying to, I don't know, maintain that. When you're done with that, we'll try another one. But I'm not in a rush because I'm hoping everybody's enjoying this and having a good time.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about animals, I thought it is good to practice animal eyes because that's the big, that's like the big, because they're so big and expressive and they've got so many shapes to them. So these lighter areas out here are kind of the lids. Well, this is the tear duct, but they're the parts of the eye that kind of stick out from the face, right? This is like the bottom lid sticking up and catching a little light. This is just a little bit lighter. It's funny, I know what these colors would be if they were human. They're not. And having a little bit of light on the top too seems to be helpful in terms of showcasing the eye itself. So send it over when you think you've got it, or let me know if you're having trouble. Christina, what category is that piece in? Is it in
Hmm.
I think it's a
features?
lifestyle feature. Lifestyle feature.
Lifestyle feature. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's just fantastic. Congratulations. You deserve that. That's a great story.
Yeah, that is
Also, it
really
sounds like
great.
you really hustled that up.
It it was a great story and yeah, so funny just how
And I love that you just noticed it and decided to follow it up. Like, that's like old school journalism, right? Like, I miss that. I miss that.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is it was kind of, so I saw a tweet about it. Someone tweeted like why are people posting, personal ads on telephone poles? So 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 I did find it from the internet, but someone like was out in the world and noticed this, which I thought was,
Right.
yeah, so it's kind of funny. And then as I was reporting the story, my chat group blew up with another one that was like, "Who is this like Matt guy?" And it was posted all over Instagram, I guess. And it came into some of my chats, and it was just so funny that it was definitely in the zeitgeist of that moment.
Yes.
That's the kind of story people would enjoy reading, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. It's fun, right? It's culture.
Yes, definitely culture. Yeah. So, but then the joke was on me because then the prankster kids made a poster advertising me. So,
That's cute. So did you meet anybody nice?
um,
They're getting married.
I actually I did in a roundabout way, not through the flyer, but I met someone through the friend group and we went out on a few dates and that was fun. So
Good.
it worked out in a very roundabout way.
We'll have to do a follow-up story on all the romances and how it ended up.
Yeah.
Weddings, the babies.
Yeah. Well, this group of pranksters, they're still up to no good. They're doing all sorts of experiments, social experiments in San Francisco. Like they did another one, which was so you know how everyone goes to like run clubs now to look for love, or like that's why people are like joining run clubs now is to meet people in person. So they decided to do a sit party so that you could meet people. And I think CNBC, maybe not CNBC, MSN or NBC did a story about that. So they are continuing to you know, gain headlines. Stuff is so
But
funny.
you were the first one to
I was
do
the
this.
first. I
You were the
discovered that.
first.
I
You were the
discovered
first. Good job. Who did you write it for?
the San Francisco Standard. So that was
Nice.
actually my last piece that was published before you know,
Before everything.
everything happened. So I went out with a bang.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't ask how well these dates went. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't let kids listen. I don't care. Don't let kids take these classes.
I mean, I should do like a little follow-up story about it.
You should. I
Yeah.
bet you could sell it. I bet you could sell it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People totally get invested in it.
Yeah.
Sort of
Well,
like reality shows.
well,
Oh my.
the crazy thing was like this group of friends, or one person in this group of friends has a Substack, and so they wrote a whole Substack about me trying to track them down for this story. So I have like the whole like other side of it, of like how they felt like about me tracking them down for this story.
How do you feel about you doing that? Are they all 20 something?
Yeah, they're all like in their mid-20s, like
Oh, they just don't know. They have
yeah.
no idea. They just have no idea. All right. They're just cute and kind of
Yeah, they have
dumb. Like that's like they're the kind of people who are like, what's Pink Floyd? What is like the Brady Bunch? What is a typewriter? What is it like? Like they'll be like that. What?
yeah, they're not jaded yet.
What are those things? That's really cute though, because that's a very distinct decision to make from that age group.
Yes.
Like that, you are absolutely, but I hear a lot of that. My lovely millennial uh daughter-in-law and son, or Rob's daughter and son-in-law, um, won't let their kid be online.
Mm.
They have one online family album where you could share pictures. They will not allow any photos or phone for her or anything. They're really limiting on the kind of they experience too much
Yeah.
with it. And they're like, I mean, she's only 2.5 now, but still,
Mhm.
Yeah.
they're just like, nope, this is not happening.
Good idea.
Yeah, right. I probably would too.
Yeah. Well, there's
Mhm.
like some millennial parents, when their child is born and they just, or even before, once they decide on the child's name, they'll buy the domain name, they'll get the Instagram handle, the Twitter handle, like all the social media handles, and hold on to that until the child turns 18, and then maybe
Wow.
hand over the keys, the digital keys, so to speak, but also to like, prevent someone in the future from maybe having that handle, and then, they post wild things, or, create a bad reputation online. So they do it as like a preemptive way to like preserve their kids' like digital footprint.
It's fucking crazy.
It's like wild.
Not that we don't know that. I mean,
Yeah.
not that we don't know this right now. Um, but yeah, it's bananas. How's it going, by the way, you guys? Have you got it? Has
Yeah.
anybody got to rubbing off did you try rubbing off the fluid?
Yeah, just rubbed it off right now. I don't know if you could see.
Let's see. Hold it up. Pop it up.
You see it?
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Wow.
Looks great. Anybody else want to hold theirs up before we go to another one? Here, I'll pop mine up. Here, I'm gonna remove the spotlight here for a second. Hold on. Hold on. Remove spotlight. Here we are. Hold them up. Oh, fun.
But
Where's
we don't
yours?
see Christina's because she has that stupid background.
Working on my gray and black.
Okay, got it. Since these guys are done, do you guys want to move on to that crazy uh like dinosaur age goat eye, sheep eye with the crazy square thing? So no, you keep working, Christina, and you can keep working on yours, but we're gonna switch.
Okay, I need to step out for just a sec here.
Okay, you got it. And let's see. Yeah, also looking at eyes this close is very like, I mean, there's just so much.
Yeah,
It's one.
that doesn't even look like an eye.
Right. Everything up close doesn't really look like an eye. I'm going to send you guys a picture of this first before we get started on it, so you have it on the thread. And also, I'm just gonna flip this over. No, wait. What am I doing? I don't know. Here, hold on. 1 second.
That masking fluid is very gluey.
I know, isn't it wild? But isn't
I'm
it
gonna
effective?
Yeah, it's great, but I'm gonna have to just use one brush and designate it for that because I think I destroyed my brush.
I know, I'm trying to figure out how you clean it up. I'll see what I'll do a little research and see how you clean them. I'm having the same experience.
It wasn't a
These are
big,
really freaking cool. All right. So here, paint a sheep eye.
wow.
I know, it's just wild, isn't it? And which one? Oh, Rochelle Miller, Chase Miller. I think Green's an idiot. And Michelle is fucking awesome. And that is an easy choice. We have an election for school board here and a couple of other local things. And unfortunately, somehow my thing was invalidated. So I don't get to vote this time because I didn't fix my ballot in time, but I did just tell my boyfriend who to vote for. It wasn't a contest.
Mm.
All right. So let's start. Jonathan, I just sent that across so you don't have to look so closely. It's a little hard to see here, but we'll start, of
It's hard
course.
to see on both.
Yeah,
It's such a
right.
weird thing.
I know it's a very weird thing. That's what we were talking about here. I'm going to get right up close so we can see it. So, yep, looks like it kind of starts. I'm going to kind of start with this shape. I'm doing it pretty big and then this shape. So see how I'm always starting with kind of the outer shapes. So that goes out a little far. I'm kind of adding in these inside edges. Yeah, it's weird. But look into their eyes. It's incredible. It is like an ancient creature. I always feel like you're looking at like kind of a unicorn or something when you look into a goat or a sheep eye. This bit of blue is supposed to be white. The blue here. And here, that's the, what she calls the frisket, but we can call masking fluid. And it looks like she's added a little bit of pencil. Is everybody done judging? So Diane, everybody must be done judging.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And tables are sold?
No, we are starting that.
Okay. This will be your first gala since the fires.
Yeah, it's so much to do right now. It's crazy that I wanted to paint a little bit, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. It's only 45 more minutes.
You can paint. You're painting little things.
Yeah, I want to finish that little apple shit.
Why don't you finish the little shit apple?
I,
Finish the
I'm
little shit
also
apple.
trying to write a press release.
Oh, you haven't finished that yet? Okay. When you finish your press release, your reward is a little shit apple. All right. I'm opening up my
I
little
think I'm
goof.
done with the press release is really too long. Too long.
You need it edited?
Yeah, I'll be able to handle that. Yeah.
Okay. So these two areas that are blue are where you want to keep white or put your masking fluid on, your sticky, weird masking fluid. You know what I'm gonna do? Paula, as soon as I get the masking fluid on, I'm gonna run and wash this brush
Yeah,
with water. And I think I would recommend you do that too, and soap, and see if you can get it off.
Okay.
Let's try.
Now I just got the invite, so all that looks good. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. It seemed to help a little bit.
I took it off.
Yeah. Go try it when you're ready. It looks to me like interesting. Let's see. These colors are just absurd. Hematite genuine. What is that as a color? Sodalite genuine. Tiger's eye genuine. Okay. We're just on our own again, I believe. So what is she using for the? Oh, paint the iris with Naples yellow. Interesting. Okay. Naples yellow. Interesting. I don't think I have Naples yellow in. Did anybody have maple? Oh, no, I do not. That's in acrylic. I don't think I have Naples yellow in in this color. So let's see. I'm looking, there's kind of a clearish. Let's look at what gamboge, well, look at what your yellows do really. That's kind of a little too yellow. Naples is a sort of dull yellow. So it's also possible that you can mix a little bit of yellow with purple. So I'm pulling yellow in here. Touch of red. Red is so dominant. Let's try that again. A little bit of red. Touch of blue to create something that's a little bit, yeah, that actually will work. So if you have yellow ochre or gamboge, they're kind of a mustardy yellow. There's this, that's this color. Mix some of that with a tiny touch of cool red, not much, and a tiny touch of ultramarine blue. Again, not much. And you will get, I believe, kind of a neutral color that's kind of, and you want to use a lot of water with it. So you'll start, and I can show you the colors. I can put them down. And I'm just going everywhere. So this color is gamboge. Gamboge or yellow ochre. It's a tiny bit, tiny bit of cool red, tiny bit of cool blue, really the primaries. And I mix them all together to get this. And then a cool red, like quinacridone, red, azarin, very light for this area. I should have tested that. Just this color. Bottom. And then once you've done that, you'll once again do burnt umber and ultramarine blue. You go up to see the mixing. Burnt umber and ultramarine blue to get that kind of darkish blue brown that you can go on top. It looks like here. Oop, too watery. Dang, 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 dang. Nope, nope. Sorry, I dumped too much water on that and that was a mistake.
Yeah, I'm painting for half an hour.
It's worth it.
40 minutes.
It's worth it. You'll be happy you did.
Yeah. Probably. I know.
And this is just burnt umber and ultramarine blue. The dark is burnt umber and ultramarine blue.
Water is so dirty, Sunny. We have to change it. Just change it. I'm not going, Sunny.
And interestingly, this gets even darker in here. This is the darkest part. Some more burnt umber, ultramarine blue. This part is darker than everything else. Probably have to layer it in.
Sorry, honey. Sorry. Sorry. Did I hit you? I'm dropping things on top of my dog.
Oh,
What a darn mommy. Yeah, yeah, you can leave. I don't blame you, son. I don't blame you if you leave me.
you
No.
kidding? You're her reason for living.
No.
God, I'm very curious to see how this turns out. Wonder what at Shadow Violet. So how do we get Shadow Violet? Maybe Prussian blue and red. It's too. Kind of thinking we mix a kind of blue purple for this outer color here. It's got more blue. I'm using Prussian blue and a little bit of red. But it's definitely kind of mostly blue because Shadow Violet we don't have. And Shadow Violet seems to come, or this color, it's kind of Prussian blue. Comes around the outer eye. So mostly blue, just a tiny bit of red. You can, if you don't have Prussian blue, you can try different blues. What you want is maybe ultramarine, maybe try phthalo, maybe try cobalt, with a tiny bit of red in it. but not enough. We want it mostly to read as blue, only slightly purple. Diane, have you ever been to this art fair that
No.
you're participating in?
No.
So you don't really know what to expect.
No, not at all.
Be fun.
It will be fun. It will be fun regardless.
Yeah. People have a good time at those things. You know, art makes people happy.
Yeah. And but it's a big fair, so it's a lot of people.
Right. I have a feeling I predict you're gonna do pretty well.
Thank you. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's it's a learning thing for next time if I be invited again.
Right.
Yeah. Which you never know.
How's everybody doing on this one?
Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead or shall I wait a little? I feel like I want to wait a little bit longer. Or shall I go ahead? The last part of this is like, I think burnt sienna is going to be our closest color. And it looks like it gets kind of scratched in here. Yeah. Burnt sienna works nicely here. And then I think because we don't have pastel, maybe we should use a little bit of white gouache for all these little white marks. These cute little white marks. That kind of go, yeah, that works out pretty well. Right. She probably does these with pastels, but oh, white hatchings, marks around the edge. Actually, what I see that wasn't really explicitly added in here is kind of a gray area here. So you can add this in, let that dry. Whitewash is working pretty well down here. Wait till that dries. What a crazy looking eye. We might have time for one more after this.
Mm.
Oh, dear eye. Very pretty. If you want. I'm not in a rush, but I'll have it ready. These are fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Totally fun. Here's the deer eye. We'll do, if we have time, we'll do last. No rush. Then masking fluid comes off. It is a very strange consistency. It's like rubber. Yeah, kind of works. I'm making this a little pinker. It's a little bit darker. Darkening this a little bit. You okay, Jonathan?
That wasn't me.
That
Oh,
was
who
me.
was that?
I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm
you okay, Paula?
trying to suppress it. I'm so sorry. I'm all right.
You just caught. For
So-
God's sakes, cough. Let yourself cough. Hey, Christina, you didn't hear last week that Paula, and maybe you didn't either, Diana. I don't know if you were here, that Paula won a big award
Aw.
for a nursing award for a story she told us about these people.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't
She was
think
totally shocked.
I didn't expect it. Yeah, I really didn't expect it. It was nice to be recognized.
Of course.
Did you get to make a
Nurses
speech?
do everything.
No, no. They make a speech about you. Basically, my manager got up and read what the family had said about me. I was nominated apparently by a family that I helped. I walked in and the poor gentleman was actively dying, and they
Do you remember she told us about this?
had no clue what was going on, and I had to kind of break it to them, which was it's so sad, and then help them through it. And I sat with them for about 4 hours, and they happened to be Sicilian, and I had taken care of this gentleman in the past, so I was able to speak to the wife in Sicilian and explain what was going on. I had to speak to all the kids that lived in different states, and then they even wanted me to call someone in Italy. I'm like, I had to draw the line.
Oh, wow.
Break it to everybody, and everybody's crying. It was sad,
No.
but
But they were appreciative, even though they know what was going on.
they were lost. They had no idea what was going on, and so I got the hospice in there, and at least he had a peaceful
Death, yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that must have meant a lot to them.
It was hard to get the hospice order from the doctor. I had to call like 3 different doctors. It was after hours and nobody wanted to take responsibility for this. It was
Right.
yeah, the statuette that they give me is actually it's hand sculpted by some ladies in a tribe in Zimbabwe or something. It's such a cute statue.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, right, and could have gone the other way. They could have been upset
I know, I know. They
because
haven't.
they were so out of it. They could have blamed, you know what I mean? Like they could have been. But if you were talking to them in Sicilian, then
I just think we really have to make a decision. You either take him to the hospital right now, if that's what your wishes are, or we'll get the priest in here, we'll get the hospice in here and just make him comfortable. But at first they were looking at me like, what are you talking about?
they were
And
just sitting there drinking coffee,
yeah,
right?
they were drinking coffee. And I go in there and the poor guy, he's in agonal breathing and he looked terrible. And I said, how long has he been like that? Well, pretty much all day.
Oh.
I would have gone there earlier had I known.
Mm.
People don't know.
Yeah, but he was definitely an end stage COPD. It was not a surprise to me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
mean, they got to go sometime.
yeah,
Everybody has to go sometime too.
he was not having a good quality of life, a poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. The end stage
Oh yeah.
COPD. Yeah,
It
that
takes
was what my grandmother was
oh
struggling with near the end.
Oy.
that's
Yeah, she was having a hard time, breathing, and it got to be a lot. Yeah.
Did she smoke?
Back, back in the 50s, 60s when everyone smoked,
Right.
then, she quit like a lot of folks did. But yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day.
Up with her
Yeah.
anyway. I used to be a heavy smoker.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that?
Oh, 30 years ago.
Oh, a long time ago. Okay.
Well, they say people that live in big cities like New York, they all get COPD at a certain point, a certain level of it. You don't even
Just by breathing in all the crap. Yeah.
LA, I'm sure is the same way. Any big city.
Oh, thank you.
Well, in New York most of my life, so I'm sure I have some of it too.
Oh, the air pollution.
How's it going on this one, you guys?
Well, it's hard to say because it doesn't look like an eye.
Yeah,
A
too.
So it just looks like a blob, but
blob, but with lots of colors and shapes in it.
yeah.
Let me show you how they look in the animal, the way she paints them. Here is the sheep.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
See, it's such a big difference.
Well, you can kind of see it in the.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't mind her work, but I don't like the way she uses materials. It's not how I like to do it, so I don't think I was going to use, but I like the eyes. I think the eyes are kind of cool. And here is the cat.
Yeah, look at that. It's
Oh.
beautiful.
We might try painting this guy. I don't know.
Beautiful. I would love to paint
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But I mean, you see how she uses, does fur. Fur is done with pastels
Oh.
on top of the watercolor,
Yeah.
which I think looks a little, I don't know. Amateur. I felt like I was sold a bill of goods. This is not a watercolor book. This is definitely a mixed media book, and I'm making the best of it.
We could do our own thing with it.
Yeah. I like the source, so I might use the source. Yeah, I was just hoping for a little bit more guidance on, how to actually do this, but yeah, maybe we'll do the source. It's cute. I mean, this is the source. He's sticking out his little tongue. It's cute. I like it. It's a cute picture. So we might just try it on our own without all her fancy bells and whistles. We'll see. Or we'll just do something else. We still have a raccoon to get through.
That raccoon.
Raccoon is cute.
Baby raccoon?
We had
Yeah.
one visit this week.
What did you?
Really? A baby?
No, a regular one. It was on the Ring camera.
Did he look at you? Did he look right at the camera?
No, no.
They're so smart, and they have like hands like humans, and they can open anything.
Yeah, I know.
They used to open up our garbage lids, have a party out there, and then we'd have to clean it up the next day. It was gross.
Trash pandas. That's why they call them trash pandas.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're called. It makes sense. Oh boy.
Do you guys want to take a look at it, or are we not quite ready? So we have about 15 minutes left. So actually, I'm not going to rush you. We probably won't do the last one unless you really want to. It's a deer eye.
I think in 15 minutes that's going to be tough to do.
Yeah, let's just end up here.
And I was gonna finish my apple.
No, we're not ending. We're not ending. We'll
okay.
for another 15 minutes, but everybody's just going to slowly finish up. It's a slow class today. Slow art today. I'll be right back, guys.
I'm concentrating on fast art.
Yeah. Crank that pieces out.
Yeah. It would be disappointing having cranked out 30 of them and come home and haven't sold one.
Oh, you will.
You'll
You
sell
will.
them, Diana. They're beautiful.
Yeah, but people need to spend money. It's that. People don't have so much money right now and they're wary of spending it,
Right, right.
I think. Dangerous to be at those places. I might end up spending a lot of money.
Your art fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll sell yours and you'll bring home others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art fairs are dangerous places for me too.
Hmm.
Although now I have a plethora of art, and we're trying to figure out what to do with all of it. All my
You mean
grandmother's
the stuff
art.
that you're making?
Well, no, my grandmother's art, and then all her friends. She collected or traded, swapped her with her friends. So she has there's hundreds of paintings. It's insane.
Oh yeah. You all ought to go through and you almost need an artistic will, an art will, where you decide where everything goes, what everything goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that takes a while because you're right, it's hundreds of paintings. This
Yeah.
is, you better
Well,
hope you sell all those, Diana. As one of these days,
Oh, have
somebody.
you, I mean, you're gonna, you're gonna laugh so much when you visit my house. I
It's a
have,
lot of art in there.
oh, and I have, I have a lot of art pieces in the garage. I have a storage shed that's filled with artwork.
Is it
I
all
mean, and
yours or is it
this is not my artwork. This is artwork from,
your collection?
yeah,
Yeah. Do you have an art will like Diana, like where your art will go?
no,
You
no.
have some valuable pieces. You should think about that. I mean, one hopes it's not doesn't come to pass for a while, but it's good to think about where I can see everybody. It's funny when I tell people about what we're doing with my great aunt Olive, like you can see them all going, "Oh my God," their eyes rolling in the back of their heads at the old person in their family who died and left them a lot of art. So it's good to think about where you want it to go.
Yeah, no.
It's good to think about where you want it to go.
I don't even have a wheel for my other stuff. So there is that too. There is that too.
Right. I'll show you the saddest thing. Ebony's. My brother does a lot of garage sales and he picked
Yeah,
up this iris, as you can see, this beautiful iris for me.
yeah.
And on the back, there's this a wonderful letter which establishes provenance. It says iris painting, Izzy. The iris painting was done by your great grandmother Lane, Elizabeth Ware Lane, daughter of Horatio Gates and Kezia Goodrow Ware. She was born in Boston in 1823 and died in Newton, Mass in 1912. We have other paintings by her, some plates in oil, her subjects being mostly fruits and flowers grown in our garden in Newton. Love
Well,
from
sounds like
Dad.
me.
Love from Dad, right? So really very clear sense of provenance. So why do I have it?
But it ended
Why do
up
I
in the
have
garage shed.
it? Izzy died.
Oh, easy died.
Izzy must have died. Well, I don't know, but I assume.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
assume that Izzy died. So all this very painful, right? Like here it is. This is who this is. At least I know who it is, and I love this. He got it for me because of this letter.
It's beautiful.
It is. And it's a beautiful painting, and it's a, you know, it's a lovely piece. Um, but it's also kind of sad because it's like all this work went to like establish this provenance and then Izzy did not make sure it got passed down to somebody else. So
Right.
I got it in a box of other, but it was in a box of other stuff.
Or whoever she passed it down to didn't value it,
Yeah.
you know, and just
Right.
sold it.
But most likely she did not make a point
Right.
of passing it. The buck stops with Izzy because
Right.
Izzy had to decide who it went to.
Mhm.
You don't, right, that you got to figure out who's going to value your stuff after you die. So it's an interesting question, right? That's the question Christina has right now. Not that you, of course, don't value your grandma's stuff and your grandma's friend's stuff, but it's a lot of art.
It
And you
it
already have a lot of art.
yeah, it is. And I have thought about because she was involved a lot with like the Laguna Beach art scene, and so actually I was thinking of going to someone at the Laguna Beach Museum bar and be like, "Would you be interested in any of this?"
I mean, museums get bequests all the time. They'll probably never be shown,
Yeah.
right? They would be kept if they agreed to keep them, and they probably would say no. They would probably only take stuff that they the New Mexico Museum of Art in Santa Fe has some of my aunt's best work. She left it to them, and it'll never be shown unless they have agreed to take it to the house and show it there. But it's so expensive, even just to insure it
Oh, yeah.
to move across town, each piece, that like it's going to be that's a long way away before we can ever do that. There you go, Diana.
Yeah, well, it's
Cute.
far from done, but at least it's laid out there now.
See, you're getting there. And that's the same with your press release. Tomorrow you'll look at it and clean it up.
It has to go out in the morning.
Yeah.
When I'm done here, I will look at it and then I'll get it out for the morning.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, how'd it go? Let's see. I'm going to remove the spotlight. Let's see. How did your little eye go? Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I like Jonathan.
Nice.
Sweet. I love Jonathan. Yours really looks like an eye. That's very
Yeah, you got it. I think you got it. By Jove. Jonathan, do you guys want me to send you this one across the thread and you can just do it on your own?
That's a good idea.
Just for fun? I
Sure.
mean, if you have nothing to do, we're going to go back to Baby Raccoon. Hold on, where's Baby Raccoon? Baby Raccoon is.
I don't think I'll ever experience a day when I don't have anything to do.
I know.
Right?
I don't think that day exists.
No.
What happened to Baby Raccoon? Oh, here it is. Baby Raccoon's right here. Here's Baby Raccoon. We'll go back to Baby Raccoon
So cute.
next week.
Very good.
Okay.
Yes. Great work, everybody. We'll
Well,
see you
that was
next week.
fun. Thank
That
you.
was really fun.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night,
Now I have
See you
to
later.
paint.
Bye.
I finished.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.